Hey everyone, Tech Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. If you own a newer TCL television, you're probably wondering, how do I set up Google Home, or how to set up the Amazon features, or even how to set up the Apple Airplay and HomeKit. Well, in this video, I'm going to walk you through my 8 favorite tips on how to get the most out of TCL televisions. Let's get into it. This is a 2025 model remote control, so keep in mind some of these features may work on your television, they just might be in a different location. The first button we have up here is the mute button. So if you press this, this will mute the TV, especially if you have the volume up. This turns off the TV, and this is your input selector. So if you do this, you'll have all your inputs here at the bottom. Now these 3 lines here is a menu button. When you press on this, you can get to all your different TV settings, your brightness, filmmakers mode, and all your different settings. This is the navigation button, and you can use this to move your cursor around the screen. This is the back button, so whenever you pull something up, you can then use that to get rid of it. Over here we have your Google voice command, so if you press that, you can say, what's the weather like today? And then it can search through the TV applications or answer your questions. This is the home button, so when you press that, it goes back to the main screen. Over here we have a settings button, and this will give you access to the Google settings. Now if you do have antenna plugged in, you have this TV button that goes directly to the TV. We have your volume up and down. We also have these little 3 lines here, and this is only for certain applications where you control it. On this side, we have your channel up and down. So if again, you have that TV tuner plugged in, you're good to go. This is an information button, so you can see some of the different content. These are hotkeys, so you can go directly to Netflix, Prime Video, YouTube TV. And if you don't have streaming channels, you can also press this TCL TV Plus, and this will actually show you some different content that you can watch. Another thing I want to point out is that the TCL remote controls use Bluetooth if you want to use the voice command or some of the features on there. So if you go to remote and accessory, I'll unpair this just to show you an example of it by forgetting the device. And it's very easy to pair it back. All you need to do is press the home button and the center of the navigation button, which is OK. And then once you do that, it'll take a few seconds, and then it'll reconnect it back to your television. So as you can see, it's pairing by me pressing those buttons. It will connect right here once again, and now I can start using any of the Google voice commands. For tip number 2, I'm going to show you how to adjust HDR. And again, this is not going to be a perfect setting. This is going to be customized. But you can go to YouTube and press on a video, and the great thing is it'll give you the indicator what it's reading in the corner. See, that says HDR 10. So if I pause this screen and then hit the gear on the menu, I can then go into my picture settings. And again, this is in HDR image, as you can see right there. Now I do recommend movie for all these different settings, but this TV does support IMAX Enhanced, so you can kind of adjust this. It also has filmmakers mode and all these other settings, but get the most natural picture, you want to leave it in movie mode. Now by leaving it in movie mode, if you just play sports, it might be kind of dark, so you can go here and change your brightness, your gamma, dynamic tone mapping. These features are available in some TVs, not all. And you do have this brightness down here, what they called peak luminance. So you want to adjust this out and get the best picture for your particular scenario. And then you can also change the motion. So if you're getting that soap opera effect, you can go here and play around with these settings. But one thing I want to recommend is you go down to custom, and this allows you to adjust the blur reduction and the judder reduction. And this is mainly taking control of the motion, so you can set it up to where you have the smoothest picture. In some cases, when you're watching a movie, you might have to play around with this again and then go back in there. So I will say there's no setting that fits all. Another thing you can do is once you get it all set up, you can use it on the current input, which is the built-in TV app, or you can go down here to select all inputs. So it means anything. So what that means, anything you plug into the television that's an HDR will apply these settings. Another thing I recommend, if you don't want the TV adjust itself, look for some kind of eye protection and make sure you turn adaptive brightness off. Otherwise, what the screen is going to do is it's going to adjust itself to the light in your room, and that's not going to be great if you have certain scenarios where you want it to be brighter or darker. So again, just leave that setting off if you want to have manual control of it. Now for SDR, that's going to be your content that you watch every day. You can go to your picture settings. It's good to play some type of movie so you can set up the way you like. Just like HDR, you do have movie, but you have intelligent settings that's going to adjust everything completely automatic. I don't recommend that because in some different scenarios, you won't get the picture that you like. But anyway, back into movie mode, you do have brightness, and as you can see there, there's a little leaf when it says 35%. but as you make the TV brighter, you can see that goes away. So again, that's something that you can adjust to what your preference is. You also have these black levels on some models. And then I do recommend leave automatic HDR conversion off. So what that's going to do is it's going to try to use technology with AI to adjust the picture to give you a near HDR picture quality. But being that it's SDR content, I don't know if it's going to look as good as you want it to. You do have dynamic contrast and local contrast. And then if you want to change the brightness, you do have this peak luminance just like HDR settings. So there's some other settings in here. There's no perfect setting for this. I just recommend you just use pretty much the automatic settings and eyeball it. And calibration might be something that you might want to do, but it is going to take a lot of work to do that. And just like HDR, the motion clarity is going to allow you to change the blur reduction as well as judder. And again, that's going to control the smoothness of the TV. So you have to use these case by case. For the fourth tip, I'm going to show you how to use your TCL account. So if you go down to System and TCL account, you can sign in, which you can see I've already done. If you look at the application, you can see I have TV and the soundbar. So if I click on the TV, now I get a set of menus. So for example, if I press volume, you can see the TV will raise up and down. If I press power, it turns the TV off, power it back on. I have a home button, I have an input button, and on the application, I can select which input I want to go to. Now you do have a microphone here, so you can use the voice command. And if you hit the three lines in the corner, you can see it does bring up the menu. And you can use the arrows to slide around through it. So if you lose your remote control, you do have these options. Now at the very bottom of the screen, you have a number pad, so you can use it for different things. And there is a keyboard at the bottom that you can use anytime you need to. So there's some examples of what you can do with the TCL Home application. For tip number 5, I'm going to show you how to use Apple Airplay as well as set up the HomeKit. So let's say, for example, you see that Airplay is turned on. If I take my device and slide down and hit the square with the square behind it, I can then choose TV. It's going to ask me to put a PIN code in. Once I hit OK, then I can see my phone here on the screen. The great thing about this is that you can stream just about anything from your iPhone directly over to the television. The next thing we want to do is set up the HomeKit. So let's say, for example, you have different Apple devices throughout your home and you want to control some of the basic features with your television. The first thing I would do is go over to the application, hit the plus, and then I would add a room where you're going to put your devices. So let's put in TCL and then hit save. Now I have a new room called TCL. Now if we go over to the television and press on setup, you'll get this barcode. And what you want to do from the application, hit the plus and add accessory. Once you add the accessory, the barcode will pull up and then you see that it finds home, hit add. You'll allow the connection from your mobile device and then press on done. So now you can see that it's set up on your home. Back on the application, we'll hit TCL, hit continue, because this is the room we want to have it set up as, hit continue again. And you can set up automation. So let's say, for example, when you leave, you can have the TV to turn itself off automatically. Once you get all that in there, go and press on done, and you can see that the TV is right here on the display. Every TCL TV doesn't support Amazon Alexa, but there's some things you still can do. So let's say we pull up the Amazon application and then we press on skills and game. You can then go to the top and search for TCL. And then as you can see here, there's a TCL Home App. We can press on that and then we can enable it. Next, we want to go ahead and log into our TCL account that we set up previously and then press on continue. Next, we want to give authorization for TCL to work with our Amazon account. And as you can see here, it is linked. We'll go and press on next. Now you can see that it did find the TV. Press on next again. You can then add the TV to a group you already have set up, but we'll skip it for now and hit done. Then you can give it voice commands to do certain features on the television, like turn it off and on. You can also set it up with routines as well on your Amazon account. So next thing I'm going to show you how to add it to your Google Home account. So the easiest way is to do it when you originally set it up, but if not, you can go and press add at the bottom, and then you can add a new device. And I like to just choose works with Google Home, and we're going to use that TCL account again. So I just searched for TCL at the top. I can press TCL Home again, and then it's going to log into my account that I already have set up, and then I'm going to link it. Now that it's linked, I do have it set up as living room TV. I can press on it, and as you can see here, I can control the volume control from this application. I also can pull up a remote. Now it will ask for a PIN number, so I will put the number in that's on the screen. And now, as you can see here, I have full control of the television from the Google Home app. And that's the volume at the bottom. You can also use the voice command once you give access to the microphone. As you can see there, as I'm talking, it pops up on the screen. I can go back to the home screen. So there's some different settings you can do. And the great thing is, once you connect it to your Google Home account, you can then set up automations to do different types of commands. For this last tip, we're going to talk about ambient mode. If you go to System and then you go down to Ambient mode, of course, we have different ones like Art Gallery, and we have Custom AI Art. But I'm going to show you how to add Google Photos to the television. First thing you want to do is go ahead and press on Google Photos, and then you're going to need to enter your Gmail password. Once you enter your password, you're going to need to add a PIN number. So for example, I'll just press the top row, go to the center row, the bottom row, and back up to the top row. Then it's going to show your profile. So if I go ahead and press on the profile that I created, it's called Demo Folder. Now, if you have a bunch of folders in here, you're going to select which ones that you're going to use on your television, and just be careful that you use the right folder because it's going to display on the screen. Once you do that, the screensaver is updated, and let's try it out. So there it is. That's the photos from my Google Cloud. Now keep in mind, these are not widescreen. So as you can see here, I can just scroll through the different pictures that I have here on profile. Now we're on the computer. I just want to show you how you can set this up. And again, you can use the Google Photo application, but I'm on photo.google.com. I can then create a new album. And let's say I call this test. I can then add new pictures to that album. So let's say, for example, I'll just drag a couple of them over here, let go. It's going to upload them. And then when I go back, I can then use that folder right there to display on my TV. And this could be your family pictures. It could be all types of different events, and you can just select the ones that you want. Now, after watching this video, you should have a better understanding of some of the things that you can do with your new TCL television. And if you have questions, make sure you go ahead and leave it below, because I'd like to know what you guys think. Did any of these features help you out? Or did you find out something new that you didn't really know your television could do? With that being said, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.